project O2A, the discount program, we're going to create a playground that uses the if-else structure. So here's the scenario. We're selling widgets at $23.75 each. However, if a client buys a certain number of widgets, we will provide them a discount. And we see a table here. If they purchase 1 through 10, there's no discount. 11 through 20 is 5%. 21 through 35, they get an 8%, and 36 or more will give them a 15% discount. So we're going to create a playground that does that. Our tip is use an if, else, and remember to use the string format as was presented in Playground 1.3 in our Everyone Can Code materials. So when we see the output we should get, so if we do 25, we're going to say 25 widgets purchased at $23.75 each and show them the subtotal. The discount applied would be the percentage, and it equals this amount of money being applied, and then our total amount would be the subtotal minus the discount. So there's 25. Here are the values for 40, 14, and 8. So for 40, we're going to apply a 15% discount, 14 will apply a 5%, and 8 will apply no discount because it's less than 10. So again, we are writing programs that perform computations on user-provided input, resulting in formatted output. We're also going to write a program that uses various control structures, in this case, an if, else structure. We'll make sure all currency values are shown with 2 decimal places. So go ahead and pause the video here, try this on your own, and if you have problems, come back and watch my solution, which will follow. So here's my code review of the Assessment O2A discount program problem. I'm going to start with importing UIKit. That's going to give us access to be able to format strings. And then I have a constant called widget price. That's the individual price for each widget at $23.75. That's not going to change. And then I use a variable, which is also, I made it a double value. It'll always be integers because we're not going to sell half a widget. But for doing the mathematics, it's easiest to make that a double from the outset. So it's going to be 25, and that's the value that's going to change as we go through the program and try different scenarios. We want a subtotal, which is going to be that widget price times the units purchased. I have a variable called discount, which is also double. It's going to equal 0 to start with. And then we're going to do a if conditional structure, and we're going to look at the number of units purchased. So if it's greater than 36, we're going to apply a 15% discount. If it's greater than or equal to 21, we'll apply an 8% discount. If it's greater than 10, we'll apply a 5% discount. And as these fall through, it's only going to do one fork. Once one fork is true, so even though a value of 40 would apply both to the first and second fork, that first fork of being greater than or equal to 36 will be true, and none of the other else ifs are evaluated. If there's less than 10, that's our else fork, then there is no discount. We're going to set the units purchased as an integer value that we want to display rather than a double. And then display subtotal is getting a string formatted as currency with 2 decimal places. Notice you can use the $sign inside that formatting string. And then I have a print string, and I do this 2 different ways just to demonstrate. So one, I use the $sign outside of the string format, so it's part of the literal string. That's the first one there in terms of the widget price. And then each equals, and our display subtotal includes the formatted $sign. And I'm printing kind of as I go here, those 3 different lines that we wanted in our print statement. We could do all those at the end if we wanted. Next is a variable called discount amount. That's the subtotal times the discount. I'm going to display that again as currency. So I create another variable called discount display. Some of this stuff can be combined, but it's also maybe sometimes easier to look at the process we're going through by breaking these out into individual components and individual statements. Next, we're going to print the discount applied as the discount times 100. I want that as a percent equals discount of, and we're going to use our formatted discount display and again the literal string applied. The amount due is going to be the subtotal minus the discount amount, and a print statement printing that out with the $sign outside of our string format. We could have done it inside the string format. Actually, I've got both here. So I don't want a double $sign. I want to get rid of this one. Total amount due, string format. Again, we're going to format this as currency with 2 decimal places, the amount due. Let's run this. And so there is our 25 widgets purchased, and we're getting an 8% discount. If I change this, say, to 40 and run it again, now we're getting the 15% discount. Let's change this to 14 and run it. And now we're getting our 5% discount. So it's greater than 10, but it's less than 21. And if I make this 8, so we're less than 10, there's going to be no discount. Discount applied is 0, because we're paying full price. That is the discount program problem. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the iOS app development cohort playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos that I create, you can click my picture up in the top right and subscribe to the channel.